And we're joined on the telephone this morning by our Indiana County Commissioners for our segment. All of our interviews now being conducted by phone because of the COVID-19 crisis. Our conversation brought to you by Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Mike Keith, Robin Gorman on the line with us this morning. Is Shireen there yet?
She is not yet.
Okay, well, anyway, we can get started here, and if Shireen Hess is able to join us, that'll be good as well. Well, County Commissioners of course, Indiana County, like everybody else, having to deal with the COVID-19 crisis, and whichever one of you wants to respond, or both, let's talk about some of the things that are being instituted by Indiana County to try to stop the spread of the coronavirus. Are there specific measures in place?
Yes, there are, Todd. First of all, we issued a somewhat of what Indiana County is doing as far as precautions and how we're handling things here at the courthouse. That was actually published in the Indiana Gazette on Sunday, I believe the edition was. And since then, yesterday, all the department heads and Judge Martin and ourselves, we met with all the department heads yesterday in the courtroom and kind of went over and structuring what we're going to do from here on out. And after that meeting, we as commissioners actually, we declared the disaster emergency for the county. And what that actually does is it's actually taking steps for the welfare, health, and safety of our county residents. Also, it enables us for economic purposes and to move quickly on the needs for the county, such as, in the future, we might need temporary employees, equipment rental, purchases of supplies, materials, and entering into some contracts and agreements for special cautions, because we don't know what lies ahead of us.
Yeah.
So those are some of the things that we're actually into right now.
Yeah, and those are some of the things that you're going to have to continually visit because, as you said, Mike, we really have no idea where this is all going. So some specific questions. The court system, will it continue to operate the way that it has, or will there be new restrictions there?
Actually, there will be new restrictions, but the Supreme Court put out a declaration that allowed them a lot of flexibility with regard to what they could do. I believe Judge Martin reported that he's trying to get trials postponed. Mm-hmm. He is trying to do as much as possible through teleconferencing. They have that capability now from the jail and other sites where people can make their pleas and do certain things by teleconference. So they're just trying to put much more of an emphasis on anything that can be done that way, much like we're doing a radio interview by telephone. Yeah. Let's try and use our technology to good. But by and large, he's asking, and our website, our county courthouse website, has when you go to it, you will have every box about coronavirus. But in essence, check first. So if you think that you should be coming in for jury for some reason to get interviewed, likely not. So please call in advance just to be sure that you're not making an unnecessary trip. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That was something else, Todd, that we covered yesterday with our courts and all of our agency directors throughout the county was, they need to be taking their own precautions, right? Because they're the interface with what I call the front lines of our folks out there. So, things that are sensible, like cordoning off areas where people, so they can't roam through buildings or just go in places that you don't know they're at, for their protection and everyone's protection, using glass kinds of things, making sure whatever interactions that have to go on, that we're doing everything to keep everyone safe. The other thing that we really emphasized yesterday was, again, please get your information from trusted, accurate sources that are being updated moment to moment. So the Center for Disease Control and the Pennsylvania Department of Health, they are updating things by, the moment, actually.
One of the interesting things to me is, Mike and Robin, you're both new county commissioners, so you have just gone around and met and really gotten to know all of the various departments here in Indiana County and their department heads, and so you probably have a pretty good feel that there are some good people in place making sure that everybody follows the right procedures.
Yes, and matter of fact, that is one of the great things that, as we explained before, is the personnel that we do have and what we can actually rely on them to actually give us the correct information, so we can, put the correct word out to the residents of the county.
I couldn't agree more, Todd. For us to stand in front of them yesterday and talk about, this is us. This is we're the team in Indiana County, and to know, and I won't start listing them because they're all just phenomenal, but we trust they know the decisions they need to make for their own operations. We know they're in close communications with us, and they know our door is open to them, that they're not out there trying to do this alone.
Nuts and bolts of how you as a Board of Commissioners will operate. Will you still have your biweekly or bi-monthly meetings?
Probably not. We're probably going to hold them, but they're probably not going to be public. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things we found out is, like our sunshine notices, declaring this emergency. A lot of things have changed in the game right now. So we're going to be seeing some changes coming down. And again, it goes from daily changes. Now it can even get up to hourly changes. And by the way, Commissioner Hess just joined us.
Oh, she did. Well, Commissioner Hess, good morning to you.
Good morning.
One of the things that we might toss out at you, Shireen, is the census. I know that's always been a big thing for you, and the county's censuses just went out here in this past month or past week, and so Indiana County residents are getting their censuses, and I know that there have to be concerns with people coming face-to-face contact if we get to the point where, workers would normally be going out into the field. That probably isn't going to be happening.
That's a real concern, and I know some folks who have signed up to be enumerators, and they're concerned. I haven't heard anything official yet, so we're sort of on a stay-tuned basis for that. But I guess I would encourage everyone, and I know it seems like a small, a trivial thing at this point, but if you did receive your census in the mail, to please go ahead and complete it. That will help. The more people that do by mail, the less pressure on those enumerators later on.
Yeah, and we did ours the other day, and it literally took less than 10 minutes to do it online, so that's an encouragement too, isn't it?
Yes, it is, yes. Thanks for pointing that out, Todd. Very good point.
Yeah, it absolutely is so easy to do. And Commissioner Hess, since we haven't had the advantage of speaking with you for as long as the other two, give us your perspective on the way that the county is approaching the COVID-19 crisis.
Well, we're trying to be as proactive as possible. We're trying to communicate as much as possible with department heads. We're concerned, not about the public as well as our employees, and so, but yet, at the courthouse we provide some essential services here, and so it's a real balancing act. But I do want to say thank you to all of our employees and our department heads, especially for their leadership. There's a lot of strengths there, a lot of abilities, but there's also a lot of strain. They're working with populations who are already stressed, so that just adds a layer of complexity to those lives. So it makes jobs a little more difficult at this time. So I think I just am very impressed with how everybody's pulling together and really doing their best. I mean, this is bringing out the best in people, that's for sure.
Mike Keith, a couple of moments ago, you were talking about guidance and cooperation with other agencies, and I would assume that extends to something like the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania. Do you get together electronically with them in order to see what's happening in other counties and what might be an advantage for Indiana County as well?
Most certainly. Those electronic details are pretty much, we're looking at it as almost hourly. And again, if you look on our website, you get on there, and there is information on that website is actually updated quite often also. So we're sharing all kinds of ideas and also sharing what's going on across the state of Pennsylvania.
Yeah, and just to reiterate, yes.
I want to make mention, absolutely, our statewide county Commissioners Association has been phenomenal, but I think what I want to say is, much like the Department of Public Health would show you, or CDC is, we're a nation that's truly rallying together when we need to. And like Shireen said, this is really bringing out the best in people. So from our national level down to our governors, and our governor has done a stellar job at handling this for our Commonwealth and allowing for us at the local levels to begin knowing what actions we can take, what's in our best interest, how do we protect our local communities, et cetera, et cetera. But yesterday, I don't want to leave out, and I want to make a shout out to all of our local agencies and partners, everyone from our state, university, borough police, our borough partners, our township, our university, our representative, our senator, our hospital, our community leaders, our tourist bureau, our chamber, our downtown Indiana. And the list goes on, and I'm sorry if I'm leaving anyone out. But they were all on a call yesterday as far as what I would call intergovernmental agencies and how we all act and align our actions so that we're coordinated and not stepping on toes or putting someone in an inconvenient position. And that's, I think, in county government, what you begin to really learn fast is there are state entities, there are state directions, there's federal and Supreme Court, like our courts. There's a lot of different moving parts that we don't have authority over, but we have to figure out how we work together. And I'm just so proud of Indiana County. Absolutely.
All right. So just to reiterate in our final seconds here, courthouse open for essential business, so folks can still have access, correct?
Yes.
All right. All right. Very good. Hey, thanks to all of you for joining us this morning. Yes, Mike.
Todd, I want to put one more thing out there to all of our county businesses. They're going to, feel a hurt in this also, which if they already haven't. But on the Chamber's website, I want them to know that there is a small business disaster assistance program out there. If they get on the website, they can actually see a worksheet that they can fill out, and they can also submit that to Byron Stauffer or Mark Hilliard to kind of get some relief and some help out there if needed.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we're going to get Mark back in here to talk a little bit about that, as he was here just yesterday. Folks, thanks so much, and disinfect that phone, okay? You've all been speaking into the same speaker.
For sure.
Thanks, Todd.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too.
It's Indiana in the Morning.